Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name is Chloe and I'm a second year law student, and I asked on Instagram what video everyone wanted to see next, and everyone wanted to see how I make my notes. So if you're interested in that, please do stay tuned.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Even if you don't study law, I think this is a pretty good technique to use. So first things first, normally I get my lectures like sent out the night before, maybe 2 nights before my actual lecture in person. So obviously last year lectures were in person, but this year they're online. So some tutors do this and some don't. So last year I get sent like a PowerPoint a few days before to like print out. Normally what I'd actually do instead of like printing off that PowerPoint is transfer it to a Word document and put it in size 12 times New Roman, because that's what I like to type in. And I wouldn't just copy and paste it over, I'd actually type it out, because I think this just kind of like gives you the first bit of like insight into the subject or the topic. So I normally do that. Then actually when it comes to sitting in the lecture, I have that little brief that I use, and then anything the tutor says that doesn't appear in them notes I add in myself. And I just think this means that you're not spend the whole lecture like typing really quickly. Obviously now lectures are online. Instead of that, most of the time I don't really get sent out a PowerPoint. Most of the time when I'm watching the lecture live, I'll just pause and before the tutor even starts speaking and just write out everything on that slide and then listen to what the tutor's saying, because I think when you're typing and the tutor's talking, you're not really getting an insight whatsoever into what they're saying. You're just trying to type as quick as you can, and I found that that's what I did most of the time last year. So that's what I normally do instead, and I will insert footage of what that looks like now. Then after obviously your lectures, that's your first insight into their topic, and you need to do seminar, tutorial, workshop. I don't know what people call them. In my university it's a seminar. Oh, I've just kicked my ring light across the floor, that was good. So in my seminars, the way that we have to do prep for them is like questions. So you'll be set like 10 questions that you need to answer. So I would then use my lecture notes, use the textbook, use journal articles and things like that to answer these questions. Now how I do this is obviously read over my lecture notes, read the set chapters in the textbooks, and obviously highlight set chapters in the textbooks. I don't have most textbooks because I'm poor and I can't afford to spend £50 on a textbook. So instead I use LawTrove, which is free to most universities and law students. So if you go onto LawTrove and you use your institution account, you can then go on to create an account for your actual self through your institution, and you can highlight and annotate textbooks this way instead if you want, which is what I do most of the time. But if I do have textbooks, I highlight certain things in specific colours and all that shebang, which is the traditional route. But if you're poor like me, LawTrove is your saviour. Also, I have a Westlaw account through my university, which I'm sure most people do, or a LexisNexis account. I find journals on Westlaw and I go through them, and again you can highlight and annotate things on Westlaw and save them to folders. So if I have a tort law folder, I will then have a subfolder in that folder which is on, say, vicarious liability, because that's the notes that I'm showing you all, and in that folder I will have all the different journals that relate to vicarious liability highlighted and annotated. Most of the time I do not print these off because I don't really see the point. I have my laptop on me 24/7, so I just find it easier than lugging a big folder around full of things like that. But also printing is stupidly expensive, so again, just to save money and to save time and everything like that, I just highlight and annotate and keep things in their specific places. What I do though, which is actually in my how to write first class law essay, when I am like writing essays or revising or things like that, that's when I then compile all them pieces of information together, because obviously you don't need all the information that you have learned, because sometimes you've got one topic, say vicarious liability, and you don't need things from other topics in there. So most of the time I then go back through my notes and pick out things and put that into one Word document when I'm planning essays or things like that. So I've got then my seminar notes and my lecture notes, and the next piece of the puzzle is to actually print these off. I know I've just said I don't like printing, but I just think if you've got your lecture notes and your seminar notes, and obviously your seminar notes include your external reading and things like that, I just think it's good to have them in one folder. I like colour coordinate like cases, journal articles, textbooks, bits where I got things from, so then I know when I'm looking back on that where I got that piece of information from, and then I can go back and get that piece of information. So that's what I normally do. Then it comes to handwriting notes. Last year when I was revising, would have like all my typed up notes, and I would handwrite from them like a million times. So what I'm trying to do instead this year is to have my written notes computer printed out and then handwrite notes from that, but like very basic. So at this point I'm just writing all of my notes out, and I like to use a lot of colour to make them look really pretty and stand out, but again very basic. So that is everything from me. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any suggestions on how I could improve my note taking or productivity, then do let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more content like this, then also please do let me know. Thank you so much. Bye.